This should be played at high volume.
This is the podcast of beats, and their whole team is complete. They feed in the streets, other people can't compete. Shit, you got Carlo, got Kenny, got Baba, got Uncle. You cannot forget Malik, and you got Ski. Yeah, the whole roster elite. They bringin' the heat every week.
Welcome back. This is the same convo with your same host, Kenny, Carlil, and Bomba. And today I got the sports segment, and I think I might as well just start off with the big news of the day. Right in the last part of the season, there's literally like 4 games left, maybe. The head coach of the Nuggets and their general manager, but more importantly, a head coach, Mike Malone, has been fired from the Denver Nuggets. First reactions to that, you feel me? Like, what was your reaction when you saw that? And then what do you think this means for the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs?
I was like, what the hell? Y'all a top 5 team. Y'all have been probably one of the most successful teams within the past 5 years. What's the problem? Like, why did I guess you guys have like one of the best players in the league, one of the best big men of all time, but the coaching and all that has to have something to do with that as well, I would assume. So I was kind of confused, especially with it being so close to playoffs.
Yeah.
I've never seen nothing like this before.
Bomba.
I mean, I think the question that everybody got on their mind is what happened, and that's still what I'm waiting to see because obviously something happened, and it's just like it got to be something big to blow up like a successful team like theirs. I just don't see it. I'm just waiting to see. That's the only thing.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. It was crazy, especially when I first saw it. And then my first question was like, something had to happen. What happened? And from what I've seen here and there from, the sports shows and social media and things of that nature, it kind of points to friction between one Mike Malone and a general manager. Apparently, they never spoke. Like they didn't like each other that much till it got to a point where they stopped speaking to each other. And then also, Mike Malone's relationship with the players was deteriorating, and if your relationship with the players is deteriorating and you have a top 5 team in the Western Conference with arguably the best player in the league right now, you definitely want to keep that team happy. So as far as that, what do you think this means for them in the playoffs? Like you said, you do have a great team, you got great players, but Mike Malone, I think one of the most winningest head coaches in the past 3 years. Had a championship recently. With them losing Mike Malone, what do you think that affects their performance in the playoffs? Essentially,
I think absolutely. I think that regardless of how great Jokic and Jamal Murray have been, that we could recognize through coaching because this was one of the biggest obstacle as Laker fans that we had to face every playoff. And I feel like a big part of it has been Mike Malone's coaching. He has been able to bring him back into the game whenever, things seem to be falling apart. Uh, and then currently, especially with the team that they have, I just don't see how they stand a chance. Like if they don't have the game management and then you're lacking all these pieces, there really is no shot to these playoffs.
I feel that. Kenny?
I definitely think they're gonna suffer. The Nuggets are one of the few teams that aren't loaded with superstars but still have success. And when you have a team like that, you can only look to coaching, knowing good rotations, knowing good matchups, following the scouting reports. At least to me, at least in the league where there's teams like the Celtics full of stars, you got teams like the Warriors got a double-headed monster of Curry and Jimmy Butler. You got the Lakers with Bron and Luca, Mavs, Kyrie. Like a one-team superstar led team isn't normally this successful in today's league, and the Nuggets have had it. So I definitely think the coaching has something major to do with it.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with both of y'all. I think it is going to impact them in the postseason. I do think you still got to look at them as a scary team, though, that can knock off one of the seeds that are, people are depicting to win because people have been talking about the Nuggets, but when it comes to the Western Conference Finals, a lot of people have been pointing at maybe the Thunder, maybe the Lakers, the Clippers have snuck into that conversation as of recently. So, woo, we just got to see. But using that to segue into the next question, since we're already talking about the Nuggets, and I just brought up the OKC Thunder, end of the season is about to be ahead of us. We got two men whose name, both in the Western Conference, whose name are being brought up as possible winners for the MVP. A lot of people got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander going number one. There are still a lot of people that believe that Nikola Jokic should be the MVP based on his numbers. But I think a lot of people are saying Shai based on his scoring and just where the OKC Thunder has gotten up to this season. Again, they're believed to be a deep playoff team, number one in the Western Conference. So, season's about to end. Who's your MVP? Shai or Jokic?
Yeah, I'm gonna say this: if Shea does win, he deserves it. But it will finally be showing that Jokic got a little voter fraud, just a little bit, because a 60-point triple double is OD.
Okay.
A 60-point, granted they lost,
hmm
but a 60-point triple double is crazy.
So, what do you mean by voter fraud?
Did I say voter fraud? I said voter fatigue.
Yeah, you
You
said
said
fraud.
fraud.
You said
I was
My
like,
fraud.
fault.
wait, what?
I meant voter fatigue.
That's what I thought you meant. That's what I thought you
I'm
meant.
sorry, I didn't mean voter fraud. My fault. Little voter fatigue.
Okay, okay.
Because I won't lie and say Shea doesn't also deserve it, but Shea not gonna get you a 60-point triple double. That's crazy. Granted, the Thunder have been are they first? They're first in the West right now, aren't they?
Yep.
They've been first in the West pretty much all season. Like they haven't lost that spot at all.
And
And
they're
the best,
guaranteed to keep it.
what is that?
I said they're guaranteed to keep it.
Yeah, and they're guaranteed to keep it. And the undeniable leader of that team is SGA, also a University of Kentucky alum. So I'm gonna go SGA.
Okay. Before Obama gives his answer, I just want to. These are the comparison and their stats for the year. So Nikola Jokic, he's averaging a even 30 points a game, 12.8 rebounds, and 10.2
He's averaging a
assists.
triple double.
He's averaging a triple double. You got Shea, he's averaging 32.6 points per game, 5 rebounds, 5 even, and then 6.4 assists. Um, the OKC Thunder is the number one seed with a record of 64-14. The Nuggets sit at 4, right below the Lakers at 47-32.
If you look at the individual numbers, it's definitely Jokic, but team success also has to play a part.
Yeah.
So, two things I want to point out. I feel like one, two, it's time we call Jokic's S's count because that shit is BS. We all see what they be calling he's a 6'4". Like a nigga can grab the ball, hit a couple hezzies, tween, crossover, dribble, shoot, and then they were like, dang, that nigga has extra assists. I feel like it's time they need to call that out.
You saying they stat padding Jokic?
Oh, like when it comes to this, it's like crazy. That man, just go look at some of his assists. Like just where they come from. The Michael Porter Jr. can grab the ball, do whatever he wants for a good 10 seconds, and then they're like assist. Those are not assists. And then two, I think that quite clearly, if you're looking on paper, Jokic got the numbers. That's not arguable. However, I feel like Shai Gilgeous should be the winner of this season. And the reason for that is because for a couple of seasons, Jokic's MVP I have been quite controversial. The league has just chosen to just go with him because of the team success, regardless of what the stats were during those times, whether he was facing Embiid or he was facing Shea with last year, which clearly like the stats were showing in favor of one person. However, the league just went with Jokic, and I feel like you just put yourself in the corner. Like every other player that we've had, whether that be the GOAT, LeBron, whether that be, other players that have been crazy runs, when they deserved the MVP, like they were not given the MVP probably because they were decorated too much before. However, we all had the argument. is Jokic, is a voter fatigue not applying to him? I mean, like you managed to finesse and give him an MVP next season. I feel like as a result, y'all robbed Shea, and if he's bringing himself back on this podium, regardless of a 60-point game or whatnot, y'all just because of y'all that this nigga is walking around without his MVP. Give him his MVP.
Okay. I respect your opinion. I do. I do believe that this is going to be one of the vote. I think this is going to be one of the years where voter fatigue does come into play. I understand that SGA's been balling. He's averaging over 30 points a game, and his team is number one, sitting at 64-14. One thing both of y'all mentioned was team success. How I look at it is which player is more valuable to their team. And whether you believe that he's stat pattern or not, it's pretty hard to stat pat 10.2 assists on a season. I would have to say without if I remove both of these players, yes, you have Jamal Murray, yes, you have Aaron Gordon, yes, you have Michael Porter Jr. I believe if you remove Nikola Jokic from the Denver Nuggets, they are a team that's competing for a play-in on the lower end of that spectrum. I believe you remove Shai Gilgeous-Alexander from the OKC Thunder, they could still be a solid 4, maybe 5 seed. I believe Nikola Jokic is it's hard to the not. This man's averaging a triple double. 60, the first person to ever put up a 60-point triple double. I believe that he drives his team success. And again, yes, they lost their coach, but Nikola Jokic can rally that team and take them to the Western Conference Finals. Like they're still that type of team. So I don't know, man. Well, I do know. I'm gonna go with Jokic. I feel like he's more valuable to his team than Shai is to his team. Go ahead, Bamba.
So I just wanted to add like one more thing as to why I think that Shea should win it. I think it's defensive presence. Shea is a very underrated defender. If you're paying attention to, he's like, I'm talking about, I did not expect the presence that this man could have on the rim. And I'm talking about some of the best defenders. Like that's one of the things that I feel like I needed to bring up. And yeah, that's just that.
No,
Triple lead.
that's that's definitely that's definitely something to look at and just, comparing their steals. They both average the same amount of steals. Shai Gilgeous averages, I mean, I guess if you round up, it's the same for blocks as well. So, but for blocks, Shai Gilgeous averages one block a game, and Nikola Jokic averages 0.7. So,
If you run it out.
yeah, yeah.
This nigga is a guard, and then the other one is 7 foot, by the way.
Hey,
Facts.
Kenny, did you have anything else to add on this one?
Nah, I think we covered everything.
All
I
right,
think we
so
covered it all right there.
So one thing we know about both of these players is that their team's going to be in the playoffs regardless of who wins MVP. So when you think about the playoffs, we all know that the superstars are going to need to be the ones to step up for their team and lead their team. But who is one player that isn't I'll say a bona fide superstar? He's not somebody we would look at and be like, he's not a LeBron, a James Harden, a Kawhi, Giannis. He's not one of those guys. But who is a player that is a key piece to their team that this team will need them to step up in order, for them to get to the success that they're trying to get to? Who's that one player?
Wait, what team are we talking about?
Any team, anybody.
Any team in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Oh, you said anybody?
Yeah, anybody. I'm not talking about a specific team. I'm just saying which player is going to need to step up to be a key factor in their team's success.
I got two.
I said Drew Holiday.
Okay, I like Drew Holiday. What'd you say, Bamba? You said you got two?
Yeah, I got two. Drew Holiday is good too, though. I'm not gonna lie. but I feel like he always steps up, and his team somebody else needs to. However, the
Yeah.
two I got, one, I think Russell Westbrook. I think that the way that Russ has been able to fit into that team has just been amazing, especially considering the circumstances. Like I feel like this is just the opportunity, one, for you to do whatever you want, and then two, to just like prove again. Because I'm not gonna lie, ever since Russ has suited up for the Denver Nuggets, he has found his rhythm. He has found his spot. He's been able to be a consistent player for them. I mean, starting, rebounding, he's there. Defense, he's there. Obviously, he brings the energy and he's able to score this time and even knock down some threes. So I feel like he could be used a lot more in these playoffs and really prove. The biggest player I think that not only will step up, but I feel like this is the right opportunity for them to do so is Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves this time, like he's like one of the few players I feel like if when LeBron is sitting on the bench and he's on the same court as Luka, regardless of like how little everybody else is scoring, like he's gonna make sure to take responsibility that he's actually gonna do something. This kid is already having games that we were watching and he was like, oh no, this is a really bad game, but he's ending up with like 18 points, 19 points. And I'm just like, this is a kid, like
Look, it's
we
been
already
more than that.
expected like that.
He went on like a 5-6 game stretch having 30 plus. Like,
And niggas was looking at him like, you can't score 18. I'm like, he's still a kid. The nigga barely starting to grow facial hair now. Like, you feel me? And he's already proven. So I feel like he will prove, and this is just the opportunity to do so. You feel me? These playoffs. Lakers in 5.
what's name? Before you said anything, Ryan Kenny did say that Ryan said is Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday wasn't something I was thinking about. Somebody I was thinking about just because, and this might be a hot topic. It might not be. I don't know. Because I feel like a lot of people would agree with me. I feel like at this point in his career, Drew Holiday is a superstar. That's just me. He
Y'all
doesn't have
better start
the
putting respect on
I
Drew
would
Holiday's
say
name.
he don't have the aura, but he plays up to superstar level.
You don't
Like
have no more.
that's the only way I can explain it. Your comment on Russell Westbrook, I do believe he's been a good fit, but I feel like the second half of the season it was very inconsistent. So I believe that is a good choice for you to say because from how these past few games have gone with him, especially that last game where he missed the layup to seal the deal for them, I believe if he does step up in these playoffs and help them get far in the playoffs, it'd be a big thing for them. It'd be a big thing for him as well. I agree with you on the Austin Reeves tip. That was the person I was gonna say. Just because he's evolving into one of them, like, and we're seeing it right before our eyes. And there's something I can't remember which analyst I was watching earlier this week, and I agree with him, but he was like, the Dallas Mavericks are so stupid for not getting Austin Reeves in that trade too. They could have easily got the thing is, I know the Lakers value Austin Reeves, but I feel like if they would have been like, we want AD and AR, the Lakers still would have said yes because it was Luka.
The Mavs would have to give us Kyrie Irving. Otherwise, I'm burning the Lakers.
Yeah,
He's on,
nah.
bro.
There's no
Austin,
way you get an AR for Kyrie. That's not a 1-for-1 trade.
that's not a
I don't
one
know.
for.
Y'all better add somebody else, but you're not telling me you just did AD and Austin Reeves for Luca. I would have been blown like burning my torch. I'm in front of the Lakers
I
center
would have been
coach.
mad too, though.
I would have been like, and I can't remember which nigga it was, but a couple years ago, one of y'all niggas tried to tell me when we traded Alex Caruso, y'all was like, man, we should have just gave up that other white boy. Alex Caruso so much better than Austin Reeves, and I remember saying, okay,
Austin Reeves was already here.
yes, Austin Reeves was already on the team. I think that might have
Might
been
have
like
been me.
his second year or whatever.
That sounds like I probably said it. 'Cause I like Alex Caruso.
I mean, he was okay, but AR is different. But nah, Kenny, what's a player you think got to step up in the playoffs to ensure their team success?
Evan Mobley.
Evan Mobley. That's a good choice.
Evan Mobley, because the Cavaliers really had a Cinderella story this year. Like they, that boy Donovan Mitchell always been a dog, but #1 in the East,
Facts.
the best record. Don't they have the
You,
best record in the league? Don't they?
nah, they two games behind OKC. They did for a long time, but now so OKC, like I said earlier, 64-14, and then the Cavs are 62-16.
Oh, right there, but still,
I mean, they right there. You feel me?
another one superstar led team. So like Darius Garland's a dog, but he's not a superstar. He didn't turned up this season, but he's not. I don't think he's superstar status yet.
Not yet. He's gonna be one of
He's up
those
there. He's
that.
a little mini Kyrie.
That's what I'm saying. Like him, people like him and AR are gonna be one of those that develop, and you can see their potential.
Yeah, but I think they definitely gonna need Evan Mobley to stay consistent in the playoffs because he's a defensive menace and he been knocking down the three ball this year.
Mhm.
So if he can keep doing that in the playoffs, the Cavs are looking real scary. Because I
Look,
would say Evan Mobley is one of the rare people who could challenge Giannis on the defensive end.
facts. Facts. Nah, I definitely, I agree with everything that you said, and I'm gonna break my own rules because I said don't name a superstar. I'm gonna name a superstar because I feel like he didn't show up last year. Jason fucking Tatum, and 75% of this, yes, is haterist. You feel me? But Jason Tatum need to step up for his team because
Didn't they win the ship last year?
he didn't lead that. He was the fourth best player on that championship team, and I mean that wholeheartedly.
Or
I mean
Jalen
that
Brown and who's the other?
Chris Stapps and Drew.
Drew Holiday.
What's the name? I can't. It was a couple of games in the finals, and one game in particular where Chris Stapps came out clipping these niggas. Like I don't know, bro.
I thought you were gonna say Al Horford and violate.
I don't think the Celtics get a championship this year if Jason Tatum don't stay, if Jason Tatum's not consistent. If Jason Tatum is inconsistent, I believe they shit the bed. That's just me. I hope he's inconsistent. I hope they shit the bed.
I promise you, if he's as consistent as he wants, they'll shit the bed this year.
I look, this is my daily fuck Jason Tatum. Last question. It's passed a little bit, but I feel like we gotta touch on it. So this the last question of the day is gonna be about Ja Morant. Recently he's gotten in trouble for doing the finger celly, in games. Whether it be off a big play or I don't know, retaliatory, a retaliation. Uh, I, I'm fucking up. Whether it be off a big play or him retaliating to somebody else, um, he has been fined $75,000 for it. So
God damn!
he has been fined $75,000 for the celly. A lot of people are saying he deserves it. A lot of people are saying like if you're gonna do that for Ja Morant, have that same energy for everybody else, because it has been seen all over the league from several different players. But it is on record that Ja Morant has been the only one fined for that celebration. So I guess my questions are, do you think he deserves that punishment, and should it been, more harsh? Should he? A lot of people think he should have been suspended, or should he have ever been fined?
I don't get. It's not even just the NBA. The NFL does it too. Like when they started doing the I got the strap on me telly, like they started
Oh yeah,
making.
it's a rule in the NFL now. You make the finger guns, or lit. That's flag.
I don't understand.
Flag.
We think it's gonna turn into a real gun? Like, like
I
what?
think it,
Bob, I haven't seen the anime. There's this one anime where it's like an alien or something. He got some type of power. He
The One Piece fan.
shooting people. What's the name of that show?
I can't remember, but it's about aliens, and he's a One Piece fan. And he's like, "You like One Piece?"
Yeah, I don't get it. So I don't understand why the fines are so hefty. I don't get the animosity towards it.
a lot of people. I mean, it's being pointed because of his past troubles. The two times he was caught brandishing a gun, online, and then there was
That's
that
fine. He
there was
don't
that
have
one.
it's his fingers.
There was the one situation where his boys ran up on a Pacers bus, shining lasers through the windows. You feel me? He beat up a 15-year-old kid at his house.
So I guess
Like,
they were saying it's an actual threat if it's Ja Morant now.
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like it's only nobody else has gotten fined for it but Ja Morant.
Yeah, I bet Mikey Williams will when he get in the league. If
Shit,
if he gets in the
Chill
league.
out, bro.
they gonna put that nigga.
But I think the answer isn't what Carlos said. First of all, he did it in retaliation. like if you're gonna go ahead and sanction him, start by sanctioning the person that initiated it. And then when you sanction them and then you sanction them, then people might not be as upset about it because everybody's done it. And it's not just everybody in this generation, because we might look at our generation like we're too young, we degenerate. LeBron has done it. LeBron has spun the revolver, added a bullet, put that shit in
Facts.
the holster, celebrated, you feel me?
Facts. That's one of
So
his main sellies.
yeah, and it's cold as shit too. So at the end of the day, like you feel me, where like niggas might shoot threes and then look at the gun. Like it's not a big deal. And I feel like even if you're gonna do something like the NFL does, a flag, a technical, like those things I feel like are more, innocent and more so like, hey, this is just to remind you to act right. Because niggas will not gamble like a game on a random technical foul or something like that. But when you're taking money out of my check, especially considering everything that Ja Morant has already been through and the effort that he's made to basically reestablish himself, because I feel like he ain't been in trouble in forever. And anything we've been talking about him was just his game. Like he's just been competing, and then his coach got fired. So I feel like there has just been like enough of a punishment on Ja Morant that if you're gonna make somebody an example, you should have started with the person that started it. Even if you're seeing Ja Morant and you're like, you should not do it, you should have fined Buddy Hield for starting it and then warn Ja Morant, something like that. Then to, put it out there that, yo, we want to move away from some of these things that's happening in the game rather than just going back at him, because at this point it just feels like he's an easy target and you just keep on hammering on him. Not fair.
Nah, I mean you took my whole statement. I was about to say everything that you just said. Me personally, I believe it shouldn't have been banned in the NBA or the NFL. I feel like, hey, you know what? I'd rather you pretend to shoot me in the game and rather than shoot me in real life. I don't know. Again, I guess I'm not thinking that. I know those are, at the end of the day, those are businesses and they want to be represented a certain way. So I understand it on that standpoint, but I agree with Bomba. If you're going to ban it, don't. It's $75,000 for doing this.
It's crazy.
Yeah, nah, I understand I'm making millions, but that's 75K. You feel me?
That's
Like
somebody's yearly salary.
that's what I'm saying. Facts. That's more than a lot of people. That's more than the average yearly salary.
Yeah.
If you, again, just call it foul. Like
What up, Mira?
the NFL, they throw a flag, just call it foul, call it tech, whatever you want to do, but don't fine them, bro. Bring back gun sellies in 2025.
Bring it
Um,
back, bro.
but as far as sports, that's all I have for today.
Wait. I don't mean to cut you off.
What's up?
I know everybody's seen that clip of that kid in college, the one that was doing this, like the arrows.
Oh yeah,
Are we
I do
banning that
remember
too? Because I mean, technically, that's a weapon.
that. That's a look. If you ban the finger celly, you gotta ban everything, bro.
I'm
Just go
saying.
ahead, ban
Call it like
everything.
this.
Like the Lakers,
RPG.
the Lakers got a whole They got a whole. I guess it's not a celebration, but whenever they miss a jumper, they smoke. They smoke like damn, I smoked that.
Any
Like
reporter that says boom, found him too.
yeah, just ban
Wait,
everything.
bang! What? We can't do
Like
bang no more.
what does bang mean? Huh? Huh? But all right, man. We appreciate y'all for joining us for this sports segment. If you are with us live, we got 2 more segments left, so stick with us. Chat with us in the comments. But if you are watching this later on, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share. Let us know down in the comments who you think is going to win MVP. And let us know down in the comments who you think is going to be the most successful in the NBA playoffs this upcoming postseason. And on that note, the only thing left to do, I need you to get your grandma's opinion and then have her send it in so I can review it and I'll respond to her.